Today, let's talk a little bit about how you can create content using AI. This is Jim Peak, and I'm going to be sharing with you today MindPal. So, MindPal is a fantastic service that offers agents, and agents you're going to be hearing about a lot more in the months to come. So, you can get a running head start by watching today. I'm going to share with you some of the most mind-blowing things that you can do with agents. Now, what you're used to in the past is you probably have chatted with ChatGPT or a similar service, and perhaps you have even went as far as creating your own GPT in something like chat. Now, something like MindPal or Cassidy.ai allows you to string together several of those GPTs or something like that to run through a process, what they call a workflow. So here in this awesome MindPal, we're just going to take a look at some of the different things that we can do. And again, what you're working on is you're creating an agent that can run through a process. It can use ChatGPT or it can use some of the other models that you could work with. So I'm in my own personal account here, and I'm going to look at the different agents that are available and just give you a little bit of a tour. Oh, thank you so much, audience. I appreciate you. So we're looking at, okay, here's an agent called Web Scraping Specialist. You're a highly skilled web scraping specialist with extensive experience in extracting data from various websites. That's one particular agent. Another one here is Market Research Analyst. So if you've ever wanted to do, say, a competitive analysis for your business, get an idea of who your competitors are, where they're strong, where they're weak, how you can capitalize on those weaknesses, and maybe with a small tweak to your own business, you can create something even more powerful that continually makes your business stronger and stronger. That is a fantastic agent for running that. So maybe that's something that we'll play with today. And then you have a concept explainer if you want to explain a concept or have a concept explained to you on many different levels, like how you would talk to someone in high school, how you would talk to a fifth grader, how you would talk to someone in a PhD program. So these are all just pre-set up templates of agents that are available in MindPal. Now, like I said before, you can put these agents together into a workflow and maybe come back in the morning after you've had a good night's sleep to a fully completed task that you just take from there. So there's one here about scraping a website and then creating an email campaign. There's another one about creating outbound sales emails, being the writer for that, and one for creating social media and an email engagement workflow, and then a blog post generator. And maybe we'll play with that today too. If you are in charge of a blog, or if you've ever thought, I want to start a blog someday, this can be a fantastic tool for helping you get through the sometimes grueling process of generating your first draft. Have you ever stared at like a white screen, with that cursor just blinking at you, taunting you, saying, you don't know what to write, you have no ideas. Well, with this thing, you can just blast through that so you have a huge conversation going on, and then you can say, yes, I want to say this, and no, I don't want to say that. You can get immediately to the editing process. But let's go back to agents just to try that one that we're looking at here. Market Analysis Research Agent, okay? Market Research Analyst. And it describes what this particular process is doing. It says copy of, because MindPal has many different templates. So you can just use a template to hit the ground running. You don't have to create these agents from scratch. It talks a little bit about what it's doing. You have settings for how you want it to output the material. You have settings for what kind of models it's using. So it's using GPT-4o Mini. And you can change the output tokens. You can change the temperature, whether you want it to be very creative or less creative, following more of the rules. Okay, and I can update this now, but instead, I don't want to actually just look at it, I want to run it. So let's start a new thread with this particular agent. And here's the little prompt box to set it off and running. So I can say, do a competitive analysis, and I don't even know what I have to say. I could probably just input the business name, analysis, and on betterphoto.com, my business. So we're going to send that starting, and you see that it's starting a process already. And it can be running, like I said, in the background while you're relaxing, while you're doing other work, while you're sleeping. Now it's looking at this, and immediately it has this overview of what the business is, a photography website, resources for photographers of all skill levels. It talks about the market position, and talks about how it has courses, contests, support, and resources. And then it says its competitive advantages, and it has its challenges and some recommendations. So we could take this competitive analysis and just copy and paste it into a document that will then allow me to further analyze what would be some small tweaks that would result in huge gains. This did a lot of work for me in a very short amount of time. Would I be able to do this work in another way? Sure. I could go and create a GPT and say, be the greatest marketing expert, and then do this analysis. But I just have to write that all out every time. So if I want to hone this into one spot, it's a great way to streamline the process. But here's where it gets really, really interesting. When you put these agents together into a process where it goes through one thing and then asks you for user input, and then goes through another thing and asks you for more approval or user input, and then goes through this whole process, and it's just like automated. It's automation at its best. So let's try that out so you can kind of get a taste of what this is like. Now, I'm not affiliated with MindPal anyway. I'm not an affiliate salesperson for it. I just like it a lot, and I think it's a tool that you could really benefit from. So in here in the workflow, let's pick this blog post generator, and we see that it has this workflow that it's going to go through. And the first thing it needs is user input on company site, target audience, and the topic in brief. So let's say I have let's say I have an idea. I'm coming up with an idea right now, and I'm going to put in betterphoto.com, and in this case I'm going to go ahead and put in the https://www.betterphoto.com, and it's going to start reading the URL. It has read it. Great. I'm going to say the target audience is photography enthusiasts, and I could probably go more in depth there, but I'll just keep it at that, photography enthusiasts. And the topic in brief is how to use AI to improve, to make stunning photos, beautiful photos, and share them more successfully. Okay, and we'll say on social media. Okay, so now I have a topic, and I'm not going to check this box here to require approval for each step, because that really increases the amount of input that I need to put in. So in this case, I'm just going to start it, and you're going to watch as it just goes through these process. Right away, it's coming up with blog post ideas. And this is the most fantastic way to work. I'm having a conversation started. So instead of just going into my head going, think, what should I do? What should I do? What should I do? What if I say the wrong thing? What if it's not something that people are interested in? I'm having ideas put out there. Harnessing AI, transform your photography skills, and a how-to guide is the type that it would be. I could do a listicle, top 5 AI tools every photographer should know. An opinion piece like AI and social media, match made in heaven. A tutorial, very much like a how-to guide, creating stunning visuals with AI editing software. Trend analysis, branding guide, data analysis. I could read each one of these, but for the sake of time, let's stick with one of those first 3. So what do you think would be the most interesting? Should we do a how-to guide of harnessing AI to transform your photography skills? Should we do a listicle? Well, listicles are extremely popular, so let's start with that one. I would avoid the opinion piece myself because my site is mostly geared towards being a guide for photographers who want to get even better, want to produce even more stunning photos. So let's stick with this listicle, top 5 AI tools. And so I'm going to just copy that because I know that the next step is going to be, which one do you want? So we're just going to say right here, we're going to put in which one we decided to do. Top 5 AI tools everyone should know. Now it's going to the next step. Let's research. Let's research that selected idea. And it's going through the process. And again, you could do workflows that do a lot of work for you when you're not around and then you just come back to them. Or you could have it interact in this way and just be more of a souped up brainstorming buddy, all set in a process so you never forget. It's like going through a checklist. So here we have it, research report. Let's see what it says. Summary talks about the market growth, the potential opportunities, the gains, user adoption, and popular tools. Well, we know that Adobe Photoshop and its counterpoint, Lightroom, are incredibly popular. So that being at the top of the list doesn't surprise me. Photoshop has some amazing AI features. Then it has Luminar AI, Topaz has gone AI, so Topaz, Canva, and Capture One. And then it talks about insights and trends identified within the research, and list of credible sources and references. That's awesome. We want to know where we're getting this information from. And the potential angles or perspectives for the blog post. So we could say a beginner's guide to these tools. We can compare. That would be really powerful. We could have case studies where we talk about stories of photographers who have integrated these tools. We can talk about future trends or community feedback and emphasize the importance of community engagement, how AI tools can facilitate constructive feedback among photographers. So it's actually now looking at the different possibilities, incorporating these insights into blog posts. We can provide something truly valuable. So we want to go for the next input is what kind of tone do we want? What kind of keywords do we want to do? And any additional notes. So I think for the additional notes, I could stick with a beginner's guide to AI tools. That would be very, very important. But I am such a fan of getting feedback on photography. It's been a huge part of my own growth and a huge part of the growth of our thousands of students that have gone through classes at Better Photo. So let's focus on this one and just see where it goes. So the tone, let's say I want it to be fun and friendly. Let's see, is there anything else? Encouraging. And yeah, encouraging. And yet, and direct. We do want it to be clear and direct. keywords. Let's say photo critiques, feedback on photography. This is off the top of my head, judging by what we've just read. And let's say photography how-to as well. How-to. Okay. And then additional notes, I'm just going to put on focus on this. And then I'm going to paste in that community feedback thing. Save and continue. Now it's generating an outline. So here's the outline for that particular 5 tools. The hook that they're coming up with is, are you ready to revolutionize your photography game? Imagine spending less time editing and more time capturing breathtaking moments. That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? More time outdoors, more time out in the beautiful national parks, enjoying the moment while you're photographing. All right, and then it talks about the overview of the topic. The main body is the growing role of AI with the market growth, the efficiency gains that come from using it. The top 5 tools. Photoshop, okay? Highlight the powers like neutral filters and content-aware fill. Content-aware fill is huge. And the example is showcase a before and after image edited with Photoshop's AI tools. And then Luminar AI, discuss the automated editing and enhancement capabilities. Topaz Labs, noise reduction and image sharpening. Canva, explain AI-driven design suggestions and templates for photographers. You can see that this is providing a very strong outline that could really serve people quite well. Now, it's really important as we're doing this to realize that we're not just using AI to farm content and then we just copy and paste this in and we're done. It is an interactive, iterative process. And this is why I highly recommend that you use this assistant, this agent, MindPal or Cassidy, in an area where you already have expertise, where it is your domain. So you can read through this information and go, no, that's not really what I want to say, and that's not true, because it will tell you things that aren't exactly true. It's just stringing together words going off of tokens and patterns. So we have top 5 AI tools every photographer should know. And then this is the start to the blog post that it that it has. So looking at it, let's say I do like the outline, and I'm just going to continue and go for the draft. And I'm looking at this, okay, it's talking about the predictions of how it's going to grow to 4.3 billion, how it can save editing time, reducing your time editing by 80%. Anybody who has spent hours on end editing a photo knows that this is big, that it is huge. If we can use AI to dramatically reduce the amount of time where we're editing an image. And then you can see that as it talks about each one, it's just basically saying like a sentence. So the feedback that I want to give it right here is expand. Expand upon each header and subheader, each bullet point, so to speak, so that there's more juice to it, so that we are providing more content and a more useful, valuable experience for the reader. That's the feedback that we're giving it. So it's rewriting, and you can see that already the introduction is beefed up. Now again, it's tempting if you're in a real hurry just to go, oh, that kind of looks good, not even really reading it. But it is absolutely essential that at this point we read it. And what I recommend, what I learned back in college, this is English Lit Studies 101, read it out loud. Read what you've written out loud, because you're going to find that there are things that you just want to change. So at this point, I might copy and paste this into an editor that I like. Look at that, it's already generated an image too, going off of this particular blog idea. That's kind of cool. But I would probably copy and paste that blog first draft into an editing program so that I can very easily go through each part of it. I can edit it here, but I might like more control. But just to demonstrate, because we're here, I could go through and go, okay, are you ready to revolutionize your photography game? Imagine spending less time editing and more time capturing breathtaking moments. The rise of artificial intelligence, AI tools in photography is transforming the industry, making it easier than ever for photographers of all skill levels to enhance their work. So as I'm reading this out loud, it sounds good to me. This is a good introduction. So I won't take up all your time by reading every part of it, but let's just go down to, say, the Photoshop example here. Photoshop. And don't mind all these hashtags and asterisks. That's the markup for saying this is a header or subheader and this is bolded. Features. Adobe Photoshop remains a staple in the photography world, for sure. And its AI-powered features are game changers. With tools like neutral filters and content-aware fill, Photoshop allows for seamless edits that were once time-consuming. These features enable photographers to manipulate images with precision. Man, anybody who's been in this game for a long time, do you remember how difficult it was to carefully select or create a mask around some object using either the magic lasso or using like the pin and having arcs, and oh my God, it is so much easier. This is one area where you can save a lot of time. And the content-aware fill. So get back to where I was, with precision, enhancing details and correcting imperfections effortlessly. That sounds pretty good. Now it says, example, consider a before and after image edited with Photoshop AI's tools. So for this blog, I would likely at this point want to actually do this process and create the before and after images. And then in the editing or in my blog software, when I put this in, put in the before and after photo. Show, don't just write and tell. That's absolutely essential. And then you might also have images already that you're ready to share with the world. And you know, you might go get stock photos, but if you want to have something a little more unique, first go to an AI tool like Midjourney and create a photorealistic image that expresses the concept that you'd want to express if you don't already have it. And even better, if you've made the shot yourself, if you have photos that you have personally created, and especially if they show something personal about you, like something that you love, something that you're a big fan of, show those in your writing so that it's not all just the same thing that people have seen before, and then they just kind of get this glossy-eyed, scan through, keep looking over kind of feeling as they go through your blog. If you ideally include photos that you have taken, and they could have you know, your friends and family, they could have you in locations that you love. If you absolutely love Yosemite, you can have photos of you or your friends there. You can have the scenes that you take, say, you know, a great photo of Half Dome. Or you can have scenes of you all around the campfire. That's what people really love. They want to connect. If you love Disneyland, you can have photos of some fireworks there, for example, and or you can have photos of you getting on a roller coaster or your friends in front of you as you're about to tip over the peak and have some fun on a roller coaster. So that's ideal. And then second, I would recommend creating the images in something that makes them really unique and playing with those artistic tools to create something incredibly beautiful. And then third, I would go for stock photos. Because those are the things that people see in all advertising everywhere. So put in your own images as you go. And then, of course, keep reading out loud. What does it say for Topaz? Known for its noise reduction and image sharpening tools, that's true. Topaz Labs uses AI to enhance image quality significantly. And everything sounded really good. So what I want to be listening for, in addition, as I'm reading it, I want to be really paying close attention to what else do I have to say? What do I want to tweak? What do I want to add to? How is this a conversation? As I'm reading it, does it spark any thoughts for me of something else? Let's see what it says about Canva. While Canva is primarily a design tool, its AI-driven designs, suggestions, and templates are invaluable for photographers. That is so true. So it says create stunning presentations, social media posts, and marketing materials effortlessly. The platform's user-friendly interface allows photographers to showcase their work in a visually appealing manner, enhancing their brand presence. The example is a photographer used Canva to design a portfolio that beautifully showcased their work, making it easy to share with potential clients. The ability to customize templates with personal branding elements ensures that photographers can maintain a cohesive look across all their marketing materials. That is so true, and that is a great starting point. And as I'm reading that, I'm thinking about how in Canva it has a fantastic video editing tool. Video, like it has a function, just go create a video for YouTube. And if you want to share your photos, what better way than create a moving slideshow kind of experience? And especially, it's ideal if you also have video material. If you get, say B-roll while you're in a beautiful environment like Yellowstone or Grand Tetons or Antelope Canyon, get some B-roll video, just shoot some video of that scene, and then have that playing, and then splice in your finished still photos into a gorgeous slideshow experience. Put some music to it, and you have a completely new competitive advantage over other people vying for your audience's attention. They see that and they go, wow, this is an experience. This is enjoyable. Of course, you follow the same principles, which is like, although you make many, many photos, you vigorously edit and you only show your very best. The most basic error that I've seen since day one, since we started Better Photo in 1996, is people not editing their work and expecting their audience to sit through a slideshow of 400 images. And that's on a good day. I've sat through slideshows that were much bigger than that, and it was painful. You want to really help your audience by making the decision. Sometimes it's hard, but you decide that one photo out of 25 that you really like the best and just show that in your slideshow experience. But I'm saying this because that has occurred to me as I read this, so I would add a paragraph about that create a YouTube video functionality in Canva, because it's such a cool thing for photographers who want to share their work in a different way. So this is it. This is how we can use a tool like this that uses agents to go through a workflow to create something that we really like. And like I said, we could edit it here and then save it, or we could take this and copy the entire thing. Now, if you copy it in the way that, they have this little copy button, you're going to get those hashtags, which can be helpful because then you can use those to easily put HTML markup, or use your blog editor and remember, oh yeah, this is the main header. That's like this one here. And then, oh yeah, this next section is a subheader, so I'm going to make that a little bit smaller. But you could also just copy this and paste it, copy it all the way down here and do sort of a manual copy and paste. Get it in here, copy it, and then paste it into your blog software. And that will likely save you a little bit of time. So we have this one image that we could also use. It's using its own model for creating image. We can do another one. Say, let's just try that, using Canva to create awesome photo slideshow videos. And let's just see what it does. Now, often these are good, and often they're just okay. So if you don't get the image that you like, again, I highly recommend, well, that's interesting. It made much more of a flat art kind of idea, and it is, as we've often seen in the image generation, getting the spelling, the letters way wrong. So I don't really like that, and just for the fun of it, let's say, I want to regenerate it, but I want to really edit this prompt instead. I don't want to have the same thing doing. So photorealistic scene of a photographer, using that, and just to try it out, no words, only well, I could say symbols, but it might say, think of letters as that. So let's just say no words, and we'll try to regenerate that. Okay, and what I was saying before is I usually go to another program like Midjourney or Ideogram, and I use those because I get better results. This is kind of cool, but it's making a little image that looks like a video graphic. And so this might be a good starting off point. I could take this into Canva and add type saying, you know, you can also create YouTube videos or something like that. It's kind of a neat little image. So I could play with that, or I could use this one, or I could use both. And again, your ideal is going to be to use your own images. The main point is you have tools like this at your beck and call now. You can go to MindPal and start playing with it for free. If you really like it, you can subscribe. It's a little less expensive than Cassidy.ai, and it's a super powerful tool. So let me know in the chat what you think you would really love to use an agent or a workflow series of agents for. Would you like to use it to create content so that you can consistently stay in touch with your audience? Would you like to use it to reach out and automatically do your own sales efforts without actually, you know, like maybe you don't feel comfortable with doing direct sales, but maybe you could use AI to streamline that process. Or maybe you are really good at sales. Maybe you love talking to people. Maybe you're extroverted and you love offering people wonderful things because you know that you're actually making their life way better. Well, how can you enhance that with AI, with some process like this? Would it be helpful for you to take all of your leads and see if you could come up with unique emails that you could send them on a regular basis? Would you like to use a tool like this for marketing, just for letting people know that you and your company, your efforts, your products, your services are out there, to just help them remember who you are? That harmonizes with the first one of content creation. You might be creating content like blog posts or social media posts just to remind people that you exist, that this tool is a solution that they might want to use. You just want to stay top of mind. Marketing 101. Are you interested in using a tool like this, an agent, series of agents in a workflow, simply for research? Because you know that there is so much to read, there's so much to keep up on, either in the area of your own domain, your own expertise, or in a new area that you're learning about. Maybe you're combining two different industries. You're looking at some elements in one industry and seeing how they could be applied to your own industry. Are you looking at maybe researching about AI and coming up with new realizations every day of how you can become more of an AI enhanced service provider or product developer, more of someone who uses AI every day? This is the first hint of agents. Very soon you're going to see much more in the market and much more in the media about this as it gets developed. I hope you've gotten some tips and some just, introductory tour kind of experience through this. There's nothing better than personal experience, so I do encourage you, go out and try this out. See if you can just, give it a shot and see what you come up with. And you might have, like if you use this blog generator, you might have a rough draft so good that you actually want to post it. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your comments. I really appreciate that. And I hope to see what you do. So if you try it out, let me know how it goes. And let me know if you have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them in a future live and in a future video as we progress forward. My passion, my interest, and my commitment is to help you understand these tools so that you can make the quick decision of which one to try, because we all know that there's a whole bunch out there. It's like the Wild West. And that you can surf the wave instead of having all that salty seawater come crashing down on you. They say that there's going to be more change in the next 5 years because of these tools and because of this technology than in the last 500. 500 years. Where were we 500 years ago? Shakespeare. Pretty much that Chaucer Shakespeare time. Coming from that to the present in the next 5 years. So we know that we need to be adaptable. We know that we need resilience. We know that we need to be flexible and always be like breathing deep and keeping a smile on our face as we move forward, and being those that use the AI to further be creative. Be the ones who are using the AI, because AI is not going to take your job. AI is not going to take what you love away from you. However, people using AI might. So you want to be the ones using AI, and go ahead and try this out and then let me know, and I would be delighted to help you be that surfer of this wave. All right, this is Jim. I will see you next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful time playing with MindPal, Cassidy, or any other agents and workflows that you find. Thanks a lot. Talk to you later.